Shalom everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief from the gorgeous suburb of Beit haKerem in the heart of Jerusalem. As I mentioned to you this week, I am busy with WIZO with a conference this week. We have our annual meeting of representatives, and this is our magnificent Rebecca Seif Center in Beit haKerem. And we have, amongst the many things in this beautiful place, we have a vocational school for young students who learn how to do hairdressing, who learn how to cook, who learn sound engineering. We have a daycare center. We have so many different projects that service the community. Now, if you're joining me for the first time and are wondering who I am and what I'm speaking about, I am Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, where I bring you the top stories from Israel every Monday to Thursday. And usually I'm in my studio, but this week I'm taking you to see a few sites around the country. Now, if you haven't met WIZO, WIZO is the Women's International Zionist Organization, an organization that existed before we even had a state of Israel. In fact, at those times, women weren't part of the formal Zionist organization. We focused more on statecraft, looking after the people, building the country. And WIZO very much is the backbone of the state of Israel. And we have, I think, over 30 federations all around the world. So this week we've had our federations from around the world visiting us, many of them for the first time since the 7th of October. Now, today has been a very emotional day. We started the day down at Mount Herzl. Mount Herzl is quite a significant and almost holy place for us because we have on one side Yad Vashem, which is the National Holocaust Memorial and Museum. We have the grave of Herzl and the grave of our prime ministers and presidents and speakers of the Knesset. And then we have the military cemetery. And this morning was extremely moving as we participated in the daily reading of who died on this day in the history of the country. So a very emotional day, especially for us Israelis in this year of war and this year where we have lost so many of our young warriors. Now for some of your top stories. We've heard from our hostages that were released over the weekend, Emily, Romy and Doron, that they were held in a UN shelter in the Gaza Strip. Now this, of course, is something that we have been speaking about on the Israel Brief, how the United Nations have violated their mandate inside the Gaza Strip, especially UNRWA. And now we have it from former hostages that they were held there, not for the entire time of their captivity, but for a good portion. The second big story of the day is that our Ramatkal, our IDF Chief of Staff, announced that he will be resigning on the 6th of March. And following his resignation, we also have the head of our Southern Command, who has also said that he will be stepping down. And both gave the reason for that being what they feel is the failure of the army on the 7th of October. They take it very personally that they were the top of their divisions, and in Halevi's case, the top of the army. And for many Israelis, this is the best example of leadership, taking responsibility. And although Herzi Halevi has served us with honor throughout this entire war, he really stands as a remarkable example of what it means to be a leader. And leadership is what we're all about this week as our women from WIZO join us in celebrating. So those are our top stories. Tomorrow, as normal, I will be back in studio bringing you the top stories in our usual format. Don't forget, it's Thursday tomorrow, so get those mentions and morons of the week to me as soon as you can. And of course, if you have an audience question, pop it in the comments section below. In the meantime, don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online, our Facebook page at Lottelsat or Meta page, whatever you want to call it, totally fine with me. We are on YouTube right here at the Israel Brief, on LinkedIn at Rolene Marks, on Instagram at Rolene_Marks, on X at Lay of the Land 5, and I think I've got that all. So a big thank you to my camera lady behind the scenes, Yael Berman. You can't see her, I can, and she's doing a remarkable job. And a big thank you to you. As always, God bless, and I will see you again tomorrow.